Hi, so today in this class we will study here about the concept of cloud computing. We will study that what is cloud computing, what are the various deployment models here for a cloud computing, and what are the benefits of cloud computing technology. Now, this cloud computing is an emerging technology which serves as a distributed computing in present era. So, first of all, we will begin here with by defining that what it refers to and how this technology here works. So, first of all, we have the term here cloud. Now, what does this term cloud here refers to? So, cloud basically refers to here that it is a cloud here refers to something which is your network or internet. So, basically, it is your network or internet. That means it is here or it is defined here as a platform which caters various kinds of services. That means a network of various kind of services here. So that means it is a network or internet which can provide services over public and private networks. So it is something which is used here to provide public and private services over these kind of networks. So this cloud here is something which is present at a remote location. So this is here the concept here that network or the internet here is present at the remote location. So by remote access, we means that we are separating the applications operating systems from the hardware. So basically, it is a technology that separates operating systems and applications from the hardware. That means we don't have to be dependent on these things. That means your hardware, operating systems, and applications, these do not require here to be binded. That means we are separating these things. That's why we can access the applications remotely. So all this represents that cloud computing here offers our services that we can access the applications as utilities over the internet. So by this whole concept we mean that the various kind of applications can be accessed as utilities over the internet. That means it also provides us the platform here to create, configure, and customize the applications online. So that's why it is here referred as distributed computing here. So this is an emerging computing technology that uses the internet and central servers to provide the services or to maintain the databases. So how we can define this cloud computing, how we can put it together is like cloud computing is a technology which is used to access the services. That means which is used to access the services which are residing on someone else's software, and that software may be running on someone else's hardware or in someone else's data center. That means we have separated each level of these things. That means your applications, your hardware, and your operating system. So this cloud computing here is using the internet. So that means it here requires the internet to access these services. So cloud computing here is defined as using the internet to access someone else's software, which may be running on someone else's hardware or in someone else's data center here. So that's why it is referred here as distributed computing, or we can also say that this cloud here is something which is present at remote locations. So what we just require is to log on to the internet and we can access these services. That's why we're calling that it can, or this technology here is used to access the various applications as utilities over the internet. Now, for example, the various services like your email, your web conferencing, these are the various applications which are here provided by the cloud computing technology. Now, you can, instead of running all the times your email on your system, you can log on to some another system. You can access your email uh, through another system. So that means all the database is not stored on your computer, but the database here is stored on the provider's database. It means, for example, you are just accessing Gmail, so all of that here is with the provider on the database of the provider here. So that's why this is called here as again a distributed computing, because you're separating here the operating systems and the applications and the hardware. That means you're not binded to any of these technologies. What you just require is an internet and you can access the various services which is here catered by your cloud computing technology. So that means it is here a pool of various kinds of services. That means it is here providing the various applications, storage, and infrastructure. So that means it here, the cloud computing here offers the online data storage, infrastructure, and the online applications here. So this is the overview here just of the cloud computing technology, that what basically it is. So this basically is something which is used to provide the applications, the access of various applications as utilities over the internet, and you can access these applications remotely because the whole network for this cloud may be present at some remote location. So user is just not concerned, the actual end customer here is not concerned that where the databases or where the big data centers are present. They just need internet and they can log on to the various services here, as it is providing here various applications, even the online storage and the infrastructure utilities also. Now, after defining that what cloud computing is, we will see that what are the main cloud components which help in the implementation of a complete cloud computing model here. So, the cloud components here. So basically we have two important components here. So these are, the first one is your the deployment model and the second one is your service models. First one is the deployment models and second one is the service model here. Now, first of all, we'll just see here that what these deployment models are here. So, deployment model basically defines the type of access to the cloud. Deployment model defines the type of access to the cloud. Type of access to the cloud. That is how the cloud is located. So basically, for cloud deployment models, we have three types. These are your public, private, and hybrid. We have public, private and hybrid. So first of all, we have here the public one. So this defines that, or the cloud here is called as a public cloud if the services provided by this are available for the public use. That means all the users over the internet. That means it has a public platform for its access and its usage. Now, if just talk here about the private deployment model, so this is basically only for a particular organization. And hybrid is here the combination of your public and private cloud model. So we will be studying about these deployment models in detail in our further session. So we're just here discussing here that what are the main building blocks of your cloud computing technology. Now, this is a deployment model which basically defines the access to the cloud, whether it is public, private, or hybrid, or we can say that you use in what mode the cloud services are being provided to you. Now, next we have the various service models. So these service models are basically the reference models on which your cloud computing is based. These are basically your reference models which defines that on which how your cloud computing is based or how your complete cloud infrastructure is used here. So basically we have three service model here which are your starting from this. So this is your infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service, and the last one, the top one, is the software as a service. Now, first one here is your infrastructure as a service. So this infrastructure as a service is basically used to provide the cloud infrastructure, or we can say that it helps, or this is the network architecture for your cloud system. So this basically here provides the physical computers or the virtual servers or virtual computers here for the uh, cloud computing. So this basically provides the network architecture for your cloud computing technology, the various physical machines for the systems, for the complete cloud computing scenario here. Now after that we have next model, service model, which is your platform as a service. So this platform as a service is basically used to, this basically provides a platform where the engineers here can create and the various applications. So this is basically a platform which is used to deliver the applications over the internet. So this basically provides here an platform where you can create your applications, and that means it's an environment here which provides the various tools to create these applications so that they can be provided over the internet here. So this is a platform for delivering the services, for creating these applications and then delivering those services. Now the topmost we have your software as a service. Now this layer is directly consumed by the end users. That means these two serve here as the deployment model. That means it is providing the infrastructure, this is providing the platform for building various applications, and this is here consumed by the end users here. The various applications like your OneDrive or Dropbox. So this layer basically provides the services to the end customer. So this layer is directly consumed here by the users of your cloud. So these are the two important building blocks here for the cloud computing, or we can say that the two main important components here, that is your service model and your deployment model. So one is acting as a reference model on which the cloud computing is based, and another defines the type of access to the cloud. Now, after this, if we just see the background here for cloud computing, it is the history of cloud computing. So the concept of cloud computing came into existence in 1950. It just came into existence in 1950 with the implementation of mainframe accessible by the static clients. So that means initially in the cloud computing phase, it just offered the static access, that is access to the static clients. But afterwards, it here evolved from the static clients to the dynamic clients, which we see in our present era. Now, we will see that this is an emerging technology and it is being used at a great scale in the information technology. So, what are the benefits of cloud computing which makes it an most important and favorable technologies in present day scenario? Now, we have been saying that cloud computing here is a distributed method of computing. So that means one can access the applications as utilities over the internet. So the first benefit here is that one can access the applications as utilities over the internet. Secondly, this cloud computing provide the platform where you can manipulate and configure the applications online anytime. So that means online anytime. So afterward, third is that it offers a online development and deployment tool through your platform as a service. So it provides a platform here for the online development and deployment of the various applications here. Now, third thing is a third next benefit here for cloud computing is that cloud sources are available over the network in a manner that offers independent access to the clients. That means there is an independency, or we can say that anytime the user can access the client. So we have independent access to the client. So it provides independent access. You just simply need to log on for that particular service here. Now, after that, the next benefit is that cloud computing offers on-demand self-service. It offers on-demand self-service here. Next thing, that cloud computing is highly cost effective and it also offers load balancing for the complete system, because it is offering here online storage, also the infrastructure deployment, the application deployment also. So this whole technique here is cost effective. That means you just don't need a lot of hardware all the times or all the applications with you. So this is an efficient technique here for accessing the various services here. Now after uh, this, the benefits of cloud computing, lastly we will see The essential cloud movers, that means the various companies, like for example, which have been providing the cloud services. Like for example, Amazon. So Amazon here is one of the first company to offer cloud computing services to the public. So examples like various services which is offered here by Amazon is like, or the various cloud services which it is providing is like, for example, EC2, so which is basically a elastic compute cloud. Elastic compute cloud offered by Amazon. So it offers here the various virtual machines. Another services like your S3, which is your simple storage service. Simple storage service. So this allows us to store up to 5 GB of data in Amazon's virtual storage service. Or after Amazon, many other cloud movers like your Google or Microsoft. We have Google and Microsoft here. Now, Google, like Google's app engines, it provides Google's app engine, so it we can get online documents, online spreadsheets, etc. After that, Microsoft is it's called Windows Azure. So it allows the organizations to run Windows applications and stores the various files using Microsoft data center. So it provides services like through Windows Azure or MS SQL services like this. So today we just had an overview of the cloud computing technology, that what actually it is and how it provides the various services. So cloud computing is a distributed computing, that means the network or internet is at remote location which can be accessed by the end users with the help of internet. That means it is catering here a number of services. Then we see here various number of benefits or advantages are here associated with the cloud computing technology. So this is all here for today's class. We will study more about cloud computing in our next classes. Thank you so much.